There is what's called the common difference. Come back. The common difference is D. Okay, when you see the letter D, you're thinking, what is the common difference? What is a difference? Subtraction, right? Typically, a difference is subtraction. Now, the common difference is actually saying what did you add or subtract by in your problem to get to your next term. Okay, what is the common difference? What changed? What's the difference? What's your addition or subtraction? So if you look at this, from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, what's the common difference? You're adding 5 each time, right? Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, okay? Here's how you can try to find a common difference, because sometimes it gets tricky with addition versus subtraction. If you take your second term minus your first term, you should get your common difference. For instance, if you look here, 15 minus 10 is a positive 5. Your common difference is 5. Okay? So in order for something to be an arithmetic sequence, it has to have a common difference. If it's not a common difference, if there's not a constant number that you're changing by every time, it's not an arithmetic sequence. So this first question is it an arithmetic sequence? So you look at 2 to 5 to 8 to 11. If you want to find a common difference, take the term minus the term in front of it. 5 minus 2, 8 minus 5, 11 minus 8. Is there a common difference? What is it? You're doing plus 3 every time. So we would say, yes, this is an arithmetic sequence, and the rule or the common difference is plus 3. Look at letter B. Is there a common difference? No. To get to the next thing, you're adding 3 here, but then it's plus 5, then it's plus 7, then it's plus 9. That is not a common difference. It has to be the same number, common, right? The same number every time. So we would say, no, this is not an arithmetic sequence. The formulas, okay? For an arithmetic sequence, there's 2 formula setups here. You don't need to memorize them. We put them at the top of every quiz or test. You do need to know when to use them. You need to know this is the recursive formula and this is the explicit formula. I just put this at the top of your test and this at the top of your test, okay? I don't tell you it's recursive. I don't tell you it's explicit. It's just the formula itself is sitting there. So you'll be able to have it to use, but you need to know when to use it, okay? All right, so in this setup, notice what's happening. A sub 1 will always be your first term, the given first term. A sub n is a sub n minus 1. With a common difference, it's plus d, right? That's the recursive formula. The explicit formula is a little bit different. The explicit formula takes your first term plus your common difference times the term number minus 1. Okay, so if I'm looking for the second term, I'd plug a 2 in here. If I'm looking for the fifth term, I'd plug a 5 in here. Okay, so that's the general setup for them. Like I said, don't spend time memorizing them. Just know when to use them. Know that this is the explicit formula and this is the recursive formula, and then you'll be all good. Okay, so number 2 here. It says you have 7, 10, 13, 16, and we want the recursive formula. So we're trying to make this happen right now. You start with a sub 1 equals, and a sub 1 equals a sub n minus 1. Are you watching March Madness right now?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Then why the reaction?
Now.
Why the reaction?
Because that was very interesting.
I don't know as he swipes it away.
A1, that was crazy.
I know, crazy. It's nuts. I can't believe that happened. Okay, so the recursive formula, you always start like this, but you're going to plug in what we know. So what's going to go behind a sub 1? 7. Okay, and then look up here. It's a sub n minus 1 plus D. What? Plus 3, right? This is plus 3 and plus 3 and plus 3. So you put plus 3. This is your recursive formula. Okay? Your first term, and then a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus the common difference, which in this case is 3. Okay, the explicit formula is a sub n equals, now we're coming up here. What is a sub 1? 7. Plus, what's your common difference?
3.
The common difference times your n minus 1. Now hear me on this. When you are writing a formula, you're not plugging anything in for n. N should always be n. So it should be a sub n, and it should be n here. Don't plug anything in for it. When they say find the 18th term, then plug in 18. Okay? But when they ask for the formula, leave n as n. All right? Okay, look at this set. What is happening from one to the next? You're subtracting 12. It's minus 12. Remember I said you can just take the second term minus the first term. You'll get a negative 12. Or you can take the third term minus the second term. You'll get a negative 12. So that's your common difference. Okay, this is your D. The recursive formula then is a sub 1 equals, and a sub n equals a sub n minus 1. Write that down every single time. It will be the same every single time. Then you plug your numbers in. A sub 1 is what? 213. A sub n minus 1, what comes after that? Minus 12. That's your recursive formula. Okay? The explicit formula is a sub n equals our first term, which was what? 213, plus the common difference, which was? A negative 12. So really, the plus can just be a negative 12 times n minus 1. Okay? From here, oh, I didn't simplify. We should simplify. We should have simplified up here too. Sorry. Let's simplify this. The one before it, 7 plus 3n minus 3. So a sub n equals 3n, 7 minus 3 is a positive 4. Sorry, I want you to simplify those. You'll see in the end, it helps a lot when you get to plugging things in. So this one, if we simplify it, distribute that negative 12, 213 minus 12n plus 12 means a sub n is a negative 12n plus 225. Okay, here's why I say simplify. Question C, it says, what's the 25th term of the sequence? Does it make more sense to do that here or here? Recursive or explicit?
Explicit.
Explicit, right? The explicit one is where you can plug any number you want into the formula and you'll find your answer. The recursive, you'd have to find the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all the way up to the 25th term. That's annoying, okay? So do this one. A sub 25 equals negative 12 times your n, which in this case is 25, plus 225. Okay, and now you can just plug that into your calculator. So the 25th term is what? Negative 75. Okay, last thing. We doing all right on this so far? How's that basketball game? Not on right now?
No.
Mm-hmm.
He's not watching, I can see.
Right. Yeah, totally. All right, so an arithmetic mean. Okay, we're going to talk about a geometric mean eventually. Today we're just talking about an arithmetic mean. You guys know this. You've done means before. Mean, another word for mean is? Average, okay? How do you find an average of something?
You add them all together.
You add them all up and you divide by how many numbers there are, right? So if we're taking an arithmetic mean of two numbers, you're just taking the average, the sum of the two numbers, and divide by 2. Okay? So for this one, 84 plus 110, and divide by 2. Okay? Be careful with this, please, because if you just plug that into your calculator is going to do it wrong. Hit 84 plus 110, enter. We want that number divided by 2. What do you get? Should be 97. Okay? But now look at B. I believe in you. I believe that you can figure out how to do this right now. You have 12, and we're missing 3 terms in that sequence, and then 48. Any thoughts as to how we could come up with those 3 terms quickly? Without using a formula like that. We're going to do this same idea. We're still finding the arithmetic mean, but what number are we going to find first?
The middle one.
The middle one. I can find this number, the number right in the middle of it, if I do what? 12 plus 48 divided by 2, right? So 60 divided by 2 is 30. That's this number. How do you think I find this number? The 12 and the 30, right? Find the average of 12 and 30. So 12 plus 30 divided by 2, you get what? 21. And then how do you find the last one? 30 plus 48 and divide by 2. That one you get 39. Okay, so start in the middle. Who said wait? Gavin? So to find this one, I used 12 and 48, right? My extremes to find the one right in the middle. Is that good, Gavin? You get it?
Yeah, I got it. I was confused.
Okay. Hey, be nice. You always, because we're just going to use 2 numbers at a time. If you're finding like the average of 17 numbers, you divide by 17, right? But we're always just going to use the 2 extremes, the far ends, and divide by 2. All right. How we feel about that? Good to go? That one's short, right?